Welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about futures bets, the wins and loss for NFC teams. We already covered the AFC. If you didn't see that video, go ahead and watch that one when this one is done. And don't forget to put down in the comments section whether you agree with me or not, whether it's your favorite team or all of them, on the wins and losses, on my predictions on them, and what do you think is going to happen in 2023? Let me know down in the comment section. Let's talk about it. All right, but we're going to start this list off with the Cardinals. They're set at 4.5. I think the Cardinals are going to be one of the two worst teams in the NFL. Go ahead and give me the under for them. The Falcons are an interesting team. They're actually set at 8.5. I could see an avenue where they go over, but for me in 2023, I'm going to go ahead and say that the Falcons go for the under there. Moving on to the Panthers, they're set at 7.5, which is a really interesting number. I honestly thought it'd be set at 8.5 or 9.5, which probably tells you that I am taking the over for the Panthers. Not to say it's going to be by a whole lot, but I do think the Panthers, if you were to place a bet on the Panthers going over 7.5, that's a winner right there. Bears are up next. They're set at 7.5 wins. I think they're going to go under. I think they are definitely going to be better in 2023 than they were in 2022, but not enough to pass over the 7.5 win threshold that's set for them. Moving on to the Cowboys. They are set at 9.5. I actually think they are going to be really good this year. It's one of those years where all the hype might actually be real. They have a really good roster, and I have them going over the 9.5 win threshold. The Lions, basically the same as the Cowboys. I have them going over their 9.5 win threshold. I think they're going to be very, very good in 2023. So if you want to go ahead and place a bet on them to go over, I think it's actually at this point, you probably get worse money betting on them to go over 9.5, but I do think that's a safe bet. Packers are set at 7.5. And I'm not going to lie to you, without Aaron Rodgers, their future looks bleak. So I don't think they get anywhere near that. I'm hammering the under for the Packers win-loss 7.5. The Rams are set at 6.5, which is quite disrespectful for some of the guys that they have on that team, for having Sean McVay as a coach. A little bit disrespectful. So I'm going to go ahead and take the over there. I think they smashed the over on wins in 2023. Okay, and the Vikings, another team that I think is going to smash their over, is set at 8.5, which I don't really understand. With what we saw last year, I think they're better this year on paper. Will they do better? I'm not sure. You go look at their schedule, they do have a pretty tough schedule, so they might not end up with a record as good as last season, but I think they go over 8.5 wins in 2023. The Saints, somehow, some way, are set at 9.5 wins. I'm going to go ahead and take the under, even though I like Derek Carr. I just don't see the Saints making it over the 9.5 win threshold. The Giants, another team being disrespected. I can't believe this number is set at 7.5. With what we saw last year, I don't know. I guess maybe they don't expect Saquon to play. I think that's far-fetched. I think one way or another, he's not sitting out. Saquon's going to be playing. So go ahead and give me the Giants to hit on the over 7.5 wins. The Eagles are set at 11.5. I think they go over their threshold. Very well could be the best team in the NFC again. But the team they're going to probably be competing with for best team in the NFC is the Niners. They're set at 10.5 wins going into 2023. I think they also hit their over, having a very good season. Now, you look at the Seahawks, a team that surprised a lot of people in 2022. Their over-under going into 2023 is set at 8.5. I actually have them going under that in 2023, which is kind of disappointing. I want them to have a good season. I think they would be a good story. They're a good team. So there are a lot of good players on that team that I like. So I would like them to have a good season. But honestly, after going through their schedule, I have them under 8.5 wins. The Bucs, you heard me mention the Cardinals being one of the worst two teams in the NFL this year. The Bucs are the other one. I have them under the 6.5 wins that FanDuel has them set at. And the Commanders are the last NFC team to talk about. Their over-under is also set at 6.5. I also have them going under 6.5, even though I do hope Ron Rivera and Jacoby Brissett, a couple guys that I like, I hope they're able to have some success in some way. They're in a wild division. It's going to be tough for them to win games just in their own division. So it's going to be tough sledding. So I have the Commanders under 6.5 wins. Again, I would love to know your opinion on all of this, or your favorite team, whatever it may be. You let me know down in the comments and let's talk about it. Don't forget to subscribe and keep coming back for more off-season content, and we'll see you for the next video.